Hey friends, welcome back to Mustard Seed Homesteading. If you're new, welcome. My name is Megan, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you my bucket garden. Now, these are not just any buckets that you purchase from the store, but these are food grade buckets that I found for free. I'm gonna share how I did that and also how to garden on a budget. So let's get started. The first thing I want to share are these pallets that I'm pointing at. We also placed a piece of wood on one side of the pallet to level off the buckets. I've shared in previous videos, but our land slopes down, and in order for the plants to have a leveled surface so we don't cause any saturation on one side of the bucket, which could cause root rot, we decided to take these pallets that we were given for free from our Azure pickups that we've just collected over time. We decided to make 4 platforms to fit 12 buckets on each pallet. Now, this is not something that you have to do. You may have a flat ground where you won't need this. I'm just showing you how we place them to help the health of our plants and to help make it organized. So the first thing you want to do is get all of your supplies, and the most important is your buckets. Now, where I've been able to find my buckets for free is my local grocery store. You can either ask your deli side or you can ask your bakery side. Now, I've asked my bakery side a whole lot more because they have a lot more on hand, and I've been able to get anywhere from 2 to 3 to 5 gallon buckets, and that is how I've grown my entire bucket garden. So let me show you. Now, the first thing you want to do is get your bucket. I'm gonna insert a quick video on how you drill at the bottom of your bucket because you want to have drainage for your plants. Otherwise, the roots are gonna tend to get soggy at the bottom and it'll just completely kill your plant. I'm so thankful for my husband. He's done all the projects when it comes to putting beds, trellises, and many other things together in the garden. I couldn't do it without him. Now here are some pictures of different sizes of buckets that I grabbed from the store. I didn't have one particular way of how many holes per bucket. I just eyeballed it and put as many as I felt that bucket needed. But you do want to make sure that you have drainage holes at the bottom of your bucket. And here are some pictures of me lining up all the buckets ready for the compost and soil to be placed in them. Now make sure to stay at the end because I break down the total cost if you had 12 buckets to start a garden. Now, the next thing that you're gonna wanna get is your potting mix. Now, I chose Organic Plus from Kellogg's. This is a company actually out of California. I do love Bacto if you've seen any of my previous videos, but I also want to explore other soils that don't cost as much. These bags, when they're on sale, are 2 for $16. I will insert some pictures of what they cost right now when I had to purchase them recently. But I will say, in my experience, this potting mix has been really wonderful.
And I think between Kellogg's and Bogdo, that's a soil that I'm willing to continue to purchase. And then of course, my black cow compost. I love this stuff so much. I've had nothing but great success with using this. So I don't use anything else but the black cow compost.
So here's the price of what the potting mix was when I purchased it at the time of the video. And I'm throwing in the same brand, but it's a raised bed mix so that you saw that there was 2 different types of mixes. And here's the black cow.
Now that we've drilled the holes at the bottom of the bucket, now we're gonna fill our bucket. I tend to start with the black cow compost first. I will fill the bucket halfway, which I did already, with the compost, and then I'll add probably about 1/3 of the potting soil because the black cow is less expensive than the potting soil, and I've had great success with filling more compost than potting soil.
Now, when it comes to compost and soil, it's completely your preference and it will determine what your garden overall cost is because that's where the bulk of the cost comes from. Now, if you have your own compost or a resource for free soil, then this garden would really come down to only purchasing seeds.
Now, I will not fill this all the way at the top because I like to leave a little bit of room for the straw. I love to have straw on everything. It helps to retain moisture, especially because this is a container versus in-ground or a raised bed. And then here's a straw that I love to use. This has been my tried and true straw. I mulch everything with this stuff. And now what I'm gonna do is just put a layer on top of here.
And mulching is not something you have to do. It's completely personal preference.
So the next thing you want to do is either grab your start or your seeds and plant them. Today I'm going to be planting the blue Hubbard squash. And all I did was I made a little bit of a hole right here. And these seeds are from Hudson Valley Seed. I get my seeds from various places, but I do like this company. Now, I like to use this when I plant my starts or seeds. This is not a must, but I'm just showing you what I add to the area where I plant my seeds. And what I do is I just sprinkle that in there, and then I'll take the end of whatever it is that I'm using for that moment, and I'll just kind of move it around in there, and then take one of these seeds and put that in there, and then just hose it down. Okay, so now I'm going to plant my seeds. I like to plant at least 2 just to be safe in case one does not germinate. And then I'll just brush some soil over that. And then I take my little watering can and I'll just water that in.
Now that your bucket is all planted with either your seed start or your seeds, you then want to make sure that you label your bucket so you know exactly what's growing in there, and then place it where it will get plenty of sunshine and water. So here is an overview of all 4 pallets with the buckets placed on them so that you can have a complete visual of what they look like. My goal with this video is to share that you can start a garden on a budget. And as much as I have invested in my garden, I also love to repurpose and grow my food inexpensively. Because I don't know about you, but the prices of food just continue to go up. And I was tired of high cost grocery bills on most of my produce. And now that I've had a taste of homegrown food, nothing at the store compares to it. I also want to add that these bamboo sticks that you see coming out of the buckets, I have them for support for the tomatoes. I purchased them from Amazon about a year or 2 ago, but I want to point out that you can also find sticks in your yard to use. I've also done that. It's another great way to repurpose what you already have and utilize your own resources. So here is a breakdown sheet of what I said that I was going to share at the end. Now, if you look at the price breakdown for 12 buckets, you received your buckets for free. Pallets are optional. I needed 2 bags of soil to fill 12 buckets, which came out to $19.94. And I needed 2 bags of compost to fill 12 buckets at the price of $12.94. Mulch is also optional, and seeds I find as cheap as $2 per packet from MI Gardener. And let's just add for good measure that you put 2 different types of seeds in there for $4. So before tax and maybe shipping, your overall amount is $38.88. Now, if you set up 12 buckets and each bucket produced several tomatoes or green beans or peppers, can you imagine how much money you'd be saving at the grocery store? And furthermore, if you save seed, now you're saving cost on seeds, which will allow you to keep producing food for yourself continually. This is partially why I have fallen in love with gardening, and I hope this is helpful for anyone watching.
So thanks for stopping by. I hope that this encouraged you to start a bucket garden yourself. And if you do have a bucket garden, leave in the comments below how you started, what you used, and how it's been going for you. I appreciate you all stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.